Today's Yin Yoga session will support the Stage 5 task of connecting to others by seeing their humanity through their ideology. This can be very challenging, and Yin Yoga provides the perfect container to consider this. As we hold each pose today, consider for each pose a different person that you know. Start with people that you dearly love, but that you might disagree with ideologically. And then work your way out to people like work colleagues and acquaintances, and then see if you can challenge yourself to consider people whom you vastly disagree with and you don't like them at all. Can you allow your natural intuition to show you how it came to be that they have the ideology that they do? Does it make sense based on their childhood or the experiences that they have or that they might have had or that you could imagine that they had? How it would come to be this way. You are not agreeing with them. You don't have to agree with them, but they don't have to be wrong for you to be right. Can you simply see their humanity through how life has crafted an ideology in them and how life has crafted an ideology in you? They are just opinions. Try this today. We begin by setting up the breath. Take a slow, deep breath in and let it out like a sigh of relief. Let's take another just like that, even longer and slower, but let it out like a sigh. One more. This time, take as long an inhale as you can and send it out slowly, consciously, with purpose, all the way. Squeeze out every little bit. Again. One more like that. Return to breathing normally. Be at peace. You are here and now. Let's get started. Coming into a child's pose. We'll take the knees wide or narrow if you prefer. Toes together in the back. And we will sink down, arms out into the mat. A couple of variations on this. You can put blocks under the wrists. You can use a block or a sandbag or a pillow under the chest to support this pose. Find your child's pose. Slowly come out of your child's pose. Back to an easy sit for a moment. Breathe. From here, we'll come into a half frog. From laying flat on the floor, grab a block or sandbag. We'll start with the left leg so that you can see what I'm doing. And bring the left leg up, resting on that sandbag. Now, if you prefer to not have a prop, you can do that too. The prop will give you a little bit more stretch in this position. So see what works for you today. Looking for a stretch in the inner thigh, opening of the hip. Switching to the other side. Bring the legs out straight. Move your prop around to the other side if you're using one. And bring the right leg up at a 90-degree angle. Getting that stretch in the inner thigh. Finding your point of comfort. Adjusting as needed. Coming up from this one, we'll put our props aside and come back to an easy sit for just a couple of breaths. From here, we'll move into a bound angle. Soles of the feet together. They can be close in with blocks under the knees, or they can be further away from you, also with blocks under the knees. We are going to be folding forward, so gather your props for that and find your most comfortable bound angle, and that could be different each day. You can use a combination of blocks to support you, and remember to change up the height of your blocks as you deepen the stretch over the course of holding the pose. Come up slowly. Move your props, and we'll come back to an easy sit for a couple of breaths. From here, we will come into knee pile or shoelace. We'll put the left leg on the bottom. The knee is pointing straight forward, or even slightly off to the right. We take the right leg and put it over the top. One slightly easier way to get into this is to come up, cross the knees, and then sit down. Now, the shins might be out almost horizontal, or they might be back toward the body a little bit. Find your comfort spot there. And of course, we're going to lean forward, reaching out with the heart. Because the knee is up high, you may or may not need something for this pose, or you might try use of props just to see a different feeling. You might like to sit on a block. If this is too intense in the hips, you can sit on a block or on a sandbag. Reaching forward with the heart. Put your hands down and come up slowly. Switch legs. This time the right leg is on the bottom, the left leg is on top. Sometimes it helps to come up, cross the knees. Now there'll be differences between the left and the right. That is normal. We are organic beings. Reaching forward with the heart. And breathe. Putting your hands underneath you, pushing up slowly, unraveling the legs, putting your props away. Just come into an easy sit for a couple of breaths. From here, let's head down to the ground, swing yourself around, and come down, lying flat, legs are long, shoulders tucked under, and arms at the sides. From here, we'll come into bridge. To support this pose, we might want a block or a bolster or a sandbag. Bring the feet towards the pelvis. Lift the hips up and support. Now you might like a little bit higher support, or you might like a little bit lower support right behind, underneath the sacrum. Find your most comfortable bridge and breathe. Slowly remove your props and come back down to lying flat on the floor. From here, we'll move into a supported fish. For this pose, you will want a sandbag or a pillow or a bolster. We're going to put it right behind the hips. For the legs, you might want to tuck them in, or you might want to leave them alone. Do what works best for you today. And we will roll back over, crown of the head to the floor, arms to the sides or on the belly, whatever is most comfortable. Adjust the legs, either out long or half lotus or lotus if you care to. And breathe. When you're ready, lift yourself up. Slowly remove your props, put them away, and lie back on the floor. Nice and flat again in Shavasana. Coming into Shavasana. Shoulder blades tucked under. You might like a pillow or a bolster under the knees for comfort, or under the head, or nothing at all. Legs can fall to the sides a little bit. Hands can be at your sides or resting on the belly. This is your time to integrate your practice. What you noticed today, what came up for you today. When you're ready, start to wiggle your fingers and your toes. Remove any props or pillows. Maybe roll the wrists and the ankles. Start to move the arms and the legs. Maybe take the arms up for a stretch. And roll over to one side for a rest. Just a moment while you get your bearings. Extend the top leg out and push up to a seated position. Thank you for joining me today. The love and the light and the teacher in me honors that in you. Namaste.